In 2012, during Aliko Dangote's 55th birthday ceremony, one of the guests seated with Dangote and other important personalities was highlighting the unfavorable conditions faced by investors in the Nigerian business terrain, and he remarked that only a foolish man will attempt to build a refinery in Nigeria. But to everyone's amazement, Dangote, who has been keenly following the conversation, interjected by saying, "I am that foolish man." Immediately, the room was enveloped in silence as he dropped the unexpected news. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anthony and I bring you African stories. Please like this video for the algorithm, subscribe to my channel and enable post notification so you don't miss my African stories.
The presence at this event of my brothers from Ghana, Togo, and Niger and Senegal is evidence of the progress in this regard.
On the 22nd of May 2023, at least 5 African leaders were present in Lagos, Nigeria to witness the commissioning of the Dangote Refinery by President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria. Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, in one of his interviews, referred to the $19 billion refinery as his lifetime project. The refinery, which happens to be the 6th largest in the world and the largest single train refinery in the world, is coming at a time when Nigerians spend a good part of their time and money queuing for fuel.
Authorities should tell us what and who is responsible for this queue, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand any story right now.
This is the experience of some motorists in several districts of Abuja as residents queue between 2 to 5 hours or even more to purchase fuel.
Now, here is the question every Nigerian seems to be asking. How will the $19 billion Aliko Dangote's refinery impact the life of a common Nigerian? But before we answer that question, let me take you back to the very beginning. Between 1965 and 1989, the Nigerian government commissioned 4 national refineries, 2 of which are located in Port Harcourt and 1 each in Warri and Kaduna. The 4 refineries put together operated at a total capacity of 445,000 barrels per day, which was at that time sufficient to cater for the country's consumption of petroleum products. But that changed with time.
The news of an increase in Nigeria's population to 201 million in 2019, as indicated in the United Nations Population Fund's State of World Population 2019 document, seems to have come to many Nigerians without surprise.
As the nation grew in population, the need for finished petroleum products multiplied. Unfortunately, the 4 refineries could no longer meet the demand. In the early 90s, the then military government ordered the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), which was the government agency in charge of the oil sector, to close all its accounts, domiciled in commercial banks, and transfer same to the Central Bank of Nigeria. With this, the NNPC lost its autonomy against the provisions of the Act which established the corporation. The continued political interference affected the operations of the NNPC, as they could no longer ensure prompt maintenance and repairs when needed. Over time, these refineries deteriorated and could no longer serve the purpose they were meant for. Despite being one of the largest exporters of crude oil in the world, Nigeria had no choice but to resort to the importation of refined products to meet the increasing demand of the nation. In 2022 alone, Nigeria spent an equivalent of about $11.2 billion on the importation of fuel. On the other hand, for the past 20 years, the government has also made efforts to rehabilitate the 4 refineries, a venture which has cost the country over $560 million. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of the non-performing refineries was being felt in virtually all sectors of the Nigerian economy, from fluctuating fuel prices to high cost of transportation, increases in food prices, cost of services, and epileptic power supply. The majority of the Nigerian populace were not spared from the hardship, but trust me, Nigerians don't give up easily. And they didn't give up. In 2007, towards the tail end of the President Olusegun Obasanjo's led government, the 4 nations' refineries were privatized, 2 of which were bought by Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote. Considering Dangote's success in business, Nigerians were hopeful for a new dawn in the oil sector, but that hope was cut short by Obasanjo's successor. President Musa Yar'Adua, upon assuming the office of the President of the Federal Republic, exercised his executive powers by voiding the sale of the refineries and returned them to the Nigerian government. From 2007 to date, it has been 16 years of unending long fuel queues and fluctuating fuel prices. In 2012, during Aliko Dangote's 55th birthday ceremony, one of the guests, who was seated with Aliko Dangote and other important personalities, was highlighting the unfavorable conditions faced by investors in the Nigerian business terrain, and he remarked saying that only a foolish man will attempt to build a refinery in Nigeria. But to everyone's amazement, Dangote, who was keenly following the conversation, interjected by saying, "I am that foolish man." Immediately, the room was enveloped in silence as he dropped the unexpected news. "My company has just decided to build a refinery in the country, but we are doing it big." Those were his exact words as a multi-dollar billionaire reeled out his plan to spend close to $9 billion on the project.
Over 2 decades ago, we made the commitment to invest in the downstream petroleum sector in response to the increasing shortages of petroleum products in our country and the consequent challenges on our economy and its negative impact on the lives and livelihoods of our people.
Although Dangote did mention that the refinery was going to be big, he didn't say it would include a fertilizer plant and a power plant that can supply enough electricity to Nigeria's southwest region, excluding Lagos. Initially built for Ogun State, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery surprisingly shifted location to Lagos, just opposite the creek separating the two states. Current governor of Ogun State may want to dig deeper to know why his state lost an opportunity to host the largest single-train refinery in the world. The gigantic project, which costs $19 billion, is now sitting in all majesty in the Lekki Free Trade Zone in Ibeju-Lekki, covering a land area of approximately 2,635 acres, 7 times the size of Victoria Island. The complex is the world's largest single-train, 650,000 barrels per day petroleum refinery. It comes with a 435 megawatt power plant, which will be able to meet the total power requirement of the Ibadan Distribution Company of 860,316 megawatt hour, covering 5 states including Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Kwara and Ekiti. The refinery, according to its fact sheet, can meet 100% of the Nigerian requirements for all refined products, including gasoline, diesel, kerosene and aviation fuel. It will also be able to produce surplus of each of these products for export. Designed for 100% Nigerian crude, the refinery has the flexibility to process other crudes. No wonder it is located near the seashore. The foolish man of 11 years ago has demonstrated once again that he is a man of wisdom, a peerless smart investor who sees the bigger picture when his compatriots are bogged down by parochialism and immediate monetary gains. Now one may ask, how does Dangote's feat affect Nigeria and Nigerians? Well, for me, I believe that if properly utilized, Nigeria and the neighboring countries will save millions of dollars on the importation of fuel, which can be used to improve other sectors of their economies. I would love to know what your expectations are towards the Dangote Refinery. Please feel free to share your expectations in the comment section. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and enable post notification so you will not miss my African stories.